You can never make me feel envy. When I know deep down you feel empty. That's why you overcompensating. Your moves don't match what you be saying. I wanna stay, but you be playing. How many times I gotta say this?
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Janique, and thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for rocking with me, and I appreciate all my new subscribers. I see my count is going up. If this is your first time here, go ahead and lock into my channel by pressing on that subscribe button and also clicking on the notification bell. That way you never miss an episode of anything that I'm doing here. Today I want to talk to you guys about how age is just a number. I need us to understand that. I'm going to have a little story time with you guys and talk to you about age and what it really means here on earth and what it really means for our lives, and hopefully release you from the shackles of your age. And if that's something you're interested in, make sure you stay with me until the end of the video. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So, true life. I am approaching 30 right now, right? This year, I'm going to be 30 years old on August 10th. Woo-woo. And as I approach 30, I'm encountering a lot of people trying to list their projections onto me or push their projections onto me, that they have an idea about what age means. And we're on two different pages with that. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it as well, just to hopefully release you from the shackles that your age has on you. What I want us to realize is God is intentional, right? God grants life and death. So it's not my fault that God granted my life or he ordained my birth to happen before yours or after yours. We're not in control of when we come here, right? It's just a matter of our parents meeting, by chance. Once they meet, they also have to, of course, have sexual intercourse. And from there, they have to decide to keep the child. And from there, you have to go through a 9-month process of baking in order for you to come here. You get what I'm saying? So I can't control when my parents laid down together and made that happen for me to be blessed to be here today. Like, I can't control that. So I hate when people try to tell me what age means, because it doesn't mean anything that we think it means. It's literally just a number. It is a marker to mark how long you've been here. The older you are, normally the wiser you are, but it's not always the case. So as I approach 30, I have a lot of people try to tell me what I should be doing, what I have to do, who I should be, what I should be interested in right now, what I can and cannot look like, what I can and can't do, what I can and can't eat. It's so many rules that society has made up for us for an age. And I want to just, let's talk about it, and hopefully word of mouth gets out and we'll all start looking at age as just a number. That's what it is. When they say it on these songs, you think they lying? Like, no, it's a real thing. And as you have kids, you also realize, like, your soul is all knowing already when you come here, right? Because these kids are super smart, and it's all about what you teach them. If you teach a kid something, they're gonna automatically remember that, and they're gonna be really good at it. And just to watch my son have a personality at 5, it's like he has a personality at 5, yo. And it's like God is living through all of us, right? So if God is living through all of us, we already have the knowledge inside of us that we need to move forward, that we need to come here and do whatever we have to do whatever our purpose is here on earth. Like, as we get to learn things, we just start to remember who we really are, and we just a living expression of God. Now, here's my story. So I went to AutoZone recently, and I met a young man, and he was trying to talk to me because I look apparently younger than I am. And he asked me my age, and I'm like, I'm 29. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm 29. He was like, well, I'm 23 or 24, one of them. I can't remember because I didn't care. But he was younger, and he was talking about how, when he's my age, he's gonna be doing all these things. So he asked me if I own a house. I said, no, I don't own a house. He was like, what? Like, almost disgusted. And I was like, what does that mean? He was like, well, when I'm your age, I'm gonna own a house. I said, good for you. That's great that you want to do that by the age of 29. That's awesome. What else? What else is new? What else is cracking? What else is happening? Right? And this is really the main point of my video. Stop pushing home ownership on other people. Like, it's not that serious, right? I personally worked for Wells Fargo Bank for a period of time, and I got to see the behind the scenes portion of actually purchasing a home. So when I was actually around his age, 23, I was in the mentality that I had to own a home as well, because that's what's been preached to me since I was little. Home ownership, home ownership, home ownership. I actually went to go purchase a home, and when I went to go buy this house, I had my down payment and everything. I actually ended up finding out a few weeks later that I was pregnant with my son Cairo, and I went and backed out. So I got my money back. I backed out of the whole purchasing process, and I decided to continue renting because at that moment for me, it's just like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I want to plant my roots here. This is just not the move for me. At least that's what God was telling me at the time. So fast forward to a few years later, I actually ended up renting the same home that I was going to buy. So the people never sold the house. They actually turned the community into a rental community and started renting out the houses. So I actually ended up renting the house. That was 2016 when that purchase process happened. So I actually ended up renting the house in 2020. So it's like things always come full circle. Like, so okay, I didn't buy the house, but I still got to experience living in that same home. And I realized during my time renting the home, I'm like, well, this is a little different than what I thought it would be anyway. This is actually not the type of home that I like to own. Like, I just realized so many things, even lawn maintenance. I still had to do things like that. I had to fix things in the home. It's just like, it was a lot that came with also renting a house. So, and this was prior to me actually starting at Wells Fargo. So I got to rent a house, and then after that, I got to actually work for the mortgage department with Wells Fargo. So I got to experience both sides. So God is so good. He said, okay, you won't own this house, but I'll still allow you to live in it in 2020 to show you why I did not allow you to purchase that in 2016. God is so good. He's so good. So I'm happy with the decision that I made. So fast forward, let me tell you about this story. So I told the guys, like, home ownership is a big responsibility. It's just not something that you wake up and decide to do, to commit to a 30-year payment, a 15-year payment, a 20-year payment, a 10-year payment. That's a big responsibility because you don't even know where you're going to be at in 10, 15, 20, 30 years. But you want to plant your roots in a specific place because that's where you think you want to be. Right? And purchasing and selling a home is not a simple process. It's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. There's countless things that you have to account for when it comes to a home buying process. You have to have your down payment together. You have to have your credit together. Not only that, you have to make sure you have your job history together because they need 2 years of job history. And they have to be verifiable sources. Not only that, they're going to go ahead and do your debt to income ratio. And with your debt to income ratio, it has to be at a certain percentage based off your credit score. Not only that, depending on what you're approved for, right? Because you have to do pre-approval first for people to even show you homes these days. Depending on what you're pre-approved for, you may not even get a house that's satisfactory to what you really want, but you're so pressed to say that you own a home and post it on the gram, right? You're gonna trick yourself into getting a deal that you never really wanted in the first place. So, I want to release you from the shackles of your age. Your age is just a number. You do things when you want to do them, when you feel ready and prepared and sure about your decision making. That's when you make big purchases like that. A home not only commits you to a payment for a certain period of time, it commits you to maintenance for a certain period of time. It commits you to taxes, property taxes. You have to have insurance. And depending on what happens, they could build up the neighborhood or tear it down around you, or they could have some neighbors that you don't really like. It's just so many things that goes into home ownership. And God forbid you want to actually rent out the home. You might get a horrible tenant that totally destroys your investment. So I want to be clear about not projecting on other people. It is okay to want things, and it's okay for someone to not want things that you want. I want us to stop making people want what we want or trying to just to validate ourselves. You understand? Like, you want me to validate the fact that you want a home by 29. I told him, I was like, it's not that serious. I like being able to redecorate. Hell, I'll move every year. For real. I never really stayed at a place where I was completely happy with my experience there to make me want to be like, you know what? I want to buy a house right here. I want to renew my lease right here. No, I always want to keep moving because I haven't found what I'm looking for just yet. Now, the type of home that I would like, and I'm telling him this too, I'm like, the type of home that I would like, people always say that it's cheaper to buy your home. It's cheaper to buy a home than rent, when it's really not, unless you're looking for one of these $200,000-$300,000 home, and that's just not what I'm looking for. If you feel what I'm saying, if you were with me on that, on what type of home you want, you with me on that. But just to say that you're a homeowner, it's not that serious, for real. It's really not. And it's almost like society wants you to commit to a 30-year loan. That's what they want you to do. They want you to commit to a 30-year payment. That way, if you default on that payment, your whole investment is totally gone. So say you default in year 20. 20 years worth of payments is down the drain for you. 20 years. You understand? Say you want to refinance and you don't even have the credit that you did when you initially purchased the home. Your refinance rate could be way higher. Say you want to do a cash out refinance and you don't have enough equity in your home when the appraiser comes out. It's just so much that goes into home ownership that people don't truly know about. They just want to say that they got it and that they did it because they think that's what other people want to hear. He was so shocked to hear me say that. I don't care about home ownership. It's not something on my to-do list right now. I could care less. So wow, I'm about to be 30. I'm like, whoa. He's like, you about to be 30? I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be 30. Oh my God, let me get moving. I'm a guy that own a home. I don't care, bro. I don't care. You shouldn't either. Don't let your age restrict you from doing things that you want to do, and don't let it be something that makes you do something that you don't want to do. You understand? I am challenging the norm right now. You understand? I'm about to be 30. I still want to be a rapper. You understand? I am starting a YouTube channel, and I want to get serious about it. And it's just so many things that I'm doing that society deems as not the norm. You understand? But where has the norm ever gotten Black people? When Black people fit into that mode, what do? They end up retired at a certain age, still struggling. Social Security is not cutting enough, you understand, and about to lose their home. And I know these things because, again, I work for Wells Fargo. I've seen it. I've seen our people get tricked into thinking that we got to purchase a home at the age of 20 or 30. You understand? Like, I can understand 40, but 20 or 30, you are tricked into purchasing a home and committing to a payment at that age. Why? Why? You haven't even seen the world yet. I asked him, have you been anywhere else? Oh, I've been to Dallas. What? And you working at AutoZone. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed that you want to own a home at 29. I'm really not impressed. I told him, I was like, I worked in mortgages, so I just saw a different side of it. You know, I see what the bank really wants. Once the bank gets you into that loan, they're going to wait a certain period of time. Then they're going to sell your mortgage to another company, to a third party, so they can start servicing your loan for you. So it's like, I'm not impressed by none of that stuff that they're doing. I'm not impressed by anything. The interest that you pay a loan on a home is enough to purchase another house, depending on what it is, you understand? And if you don't put money towards your loan payments to pay it off early, you could really come out on the losing end. So I say all that to say, don't let your age run your life. Okay, so what? You're about to be 30. So what? So what? What does it matter when you look like this? Who cares what your age is when you look like this? Who cares? You'll never be able to tell. I have people constantly on a daily basis tell me how I look in my low 20s. I am 29, my nigga. 29. I'm 29 years old, and I don't own a home, and that's okay. It doesn't matter, literally. So I just wanted to come on here and let you know that as well. If you're about to be 30, even if you're in your 30s, it's okay. It's okay if you're in your 40s and you still don't own a house. It's all right. We are all on different timelines here. We are all on different journeys, on different paths. God tells us to do things at different times. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so if I had, and I think about this all the time, if I sat right there and purchased that home in 2016, I'd still be in Charlotte, and that's not even where I want to be. Like, I just can't imagine what different route I would have taken just committing myself to that alone. So I say all that to say as well, like, watch your commitments. Watch what you commit to. You understand? Don't do something because other people make you think that's what you have to do. Be an individual. Think for yourself. You understand? If you want to rent for the rest of your life, rent for the rest of your life. It don't matter. Be a nomad. Do what you want to do. It's your life. But don't project on other people what you really want. Keep it to yourself. We should all be accepting of what other people want, right? You are not the person. Me purchasing a home does nothing for you, especially when you don't have a vehicle. I watch you not have a vehicle. The little boy, he didn't have a car. You don't even got a car. You think about home ownership, you're hustling backwards. You're not even gonna have a car on your credit report. I just don't have time. I don't have time. You get what I'm saying? People priorities be so like in different places. Like you don't even have a vehicle. You're worried about owning a home. What are you thinking about right now? I'm not understanding. Is that normal? Let me know. But anyway, I digress. Don't let your age stop you from doing nothing. Okay, so what, you finna be 30. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. You could wake up every day and choose to do what you want to do. That's the beauty of free will. God gives it. Do whatever you want to do, not what society makes us think we want to do. Especially as Black people. We can't just sit right there and commit to these banks. We can't do that. Commit to yourself. Run it up for a few years and purchase the home that you want. You understand? Instead of giving all your money to a bank. What's crazy is that's how people become depressed. People think because they about to be 30 and they are not married, they don't own a home, they don't have a business. It's just so many things that people think that if they don't have by a certain age, it means that they're a failure at life. And that's not true at all. You know, we have a lot of people in our society right now who are, you know, between the age of 20 and 30 who do a lot of illegal things to get what they have or what they have acquired, you know. So if you're taking the right route, if you're taking a different route anyway, it could take you a little longer to get there, but that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. You understand? So I'd be a fool to sit right here and think that because I'm about to be 30 and I'm not married or I don't own a home that I have failed. When God tells me every day that I'm winning. Why would I listen to you? Why would I listen to you? God tells me every day that I'm a winner. That doesn't make any sense. I know I'm winning. You understand? You helping me out. I come to your job. You get what I'm saying? Like, life is so different than it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, the banks didn't even want us owning homes. They didn't even want us to purchase homes. And to this day, the banks are still doing things to make sure they stop people of color from even getting approved on purchases and refinances and stuff like that. I know because I've seen it. And I'll talk about it in another video. But it's like, I see the corrupt practices that happen behind closed doors. I know exactly what the man wants us to do. And he wants us to get into these home loans. I'm telling you right now, avoid the trap. Avoid the trap, avoid the shackle that society has placed on your mind that you have to do all these things by a certain age. Do it when you want to do it, when you're ready, when you feel sure. You understand? When you can get what you want. I don't think it makes any sense to buy a lesser home unless you plan on flipping it. But again, it's up to you. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. You know, I'm about to be 30 and I'm not married. I haven't blown up as a rapper yet. My YouTube has not blown up completely yet. And we saw on Instagram a few days ago that TikTok admitted to, you know, being able to choose who goes viral. But we've known that forever. I've always known that they have the ability on all of these apps to sit right there and make who they want to make famous. It's a thing. So don't be discouraged at all that if you're about to turn 30 and you haven't gotten to where you're going. Like, these people are choosing who they want to put on a pedestal in society. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a toxic person, a person who should not be having any kind of influence over our people. That's who they're going to push up first. So it's like, yeah, I'm about to be 30 and I don't have the things that society makes me think that I want, makes me think that I need to have in order to be happy with my life every day. Like, I don't care. I could care less. Like, that is not on my mind every day. Home ownership. I'm not like home ownership. No, it's not that serious, bro. It's not that serious. You know, take your time with things, right? God said there's a season for everything under the sun. There's a season to plant and there's a season to grow. There's a season to reproduce. It's just so many seasons out here. And we know this is evidence based off the 4 seasons that we're kind of running on right now. But it's just, even the calendar is not even the calendar that's in the Bible. It's a whole different calendar. You understand? So we don't really know what age we are, honestly. We don't even know how old we are. And this is real life. Back in the day, you know, we saw God talk about how many years people lived. And I remember him in the Bible putting a cap of 120 years on a man's life or a person's life. But God placed that cap on there of 120 years, but people live way past that. And they had kids, they had babies, they had legacies. It's just so many things that people still have. Because your life, it doesn't stop you. Let me see when Sarah had that baby. When did uh-oh. In the Bible, there was a specific story about how Sarah and Abraham, they wanted their own child. Sarah actually went above and beyond and had her husband sleep with one of their concubines in order to reproduce and have a child first, because they didn't want to wait on God. God still told them that she would be the one to have his child. God said that, right? They did not conceive a child of their own until Sarah alone was 90 years old, bro. She was 90 years old. The human body is so complex and amazing to me, because we can do anything that we want to do, anything that we put our minds to. If we get down to the root of it, your age should really be based off of your brain. You understand? Like, some people get older and older and they don't learn anything new. They don't have any new knowledge. They cannot keep up with the times. Like, they have no idea what's happening. And some people, you know, they get older and older and they constantly learn every day. So who's naturally going to be looking younger? Who's naturally going to be feeling younger? The person who's learning constantly, not the person who stays stagnant and stop learning. So knowledge is the real power here. It's not about how long I've been here or what date it says I was born on. Like, age is just a number. Time ain't even real. They made that up to keep track of what we doing. You understand? So it's like, Sarah didn't have her baby till she was 90, bro. Stop pressing me about a house, bro. I'm about to be 30. I'm chilling. I'm not even married yet. Like, that's what I would like to work on. Getting married. That's what I would like to work on. Getting married. Building my legacy for real. You know what I'm saying? Home ownership is the least of my worries right now. And really, we should all be focused on being better people. You're a piece of shit, but you want me to look up to you or look at you or be impressed by what you're saying because you want to own a house by 29. Like, bro, I'm not impressed. People be trying to say things to impress other people too, and I'm not one of those people. If I don't like something, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. It's not hard to do something. You understand? I digress. But God will fulfill all his promises to you. So, you know, if God promises you a house, God will give you a house when he's ready to give a house. God will give you a house when he's ready to give you a house. If God promised you a career, he's going to give you that career when he's ready to give you that career, when you can accept it, when you can handle it. Because if God gives you something before you can handle it, before it's your time, then you're not going to do anything but fumble it. We all know that. When you get something before it's time for you to get it, it never goes the way that you're supposed to. It never goes the way that it never goes the way that you think it's going to go. And this is a prime example where people be scamming to get the things that they want and they end up in prison. It wasn't your time to get what you wanted, but you were so pressed to put it on social media. You took the illegal route to get what you got, right? And now you're locked up. Ooh, now you can't even use the stuff that you bought. Oh, do things the right way. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm Janique. This was Janique TV. I hope you got something from my message today. If you did, make sure you check out some of my other messages. I'll be listening right here. I will see you in the next video. Peace.